Hello. Glory to Ukraine. The 263rd day of the heroic resistance of the Ukrainian people to a Russian military large-scale invasion continues. The military intelligence of Ukraine has confirmed the information on the preparation of a draft agreement on the supply of Iranian ballistic missiles to Russia, the main intelligence agency of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine said. In the liberated settlements of the Kherson region, units of the defense forces of Ukraine are carrying out stabilization measures. The enemy is improving the fortification equipment of the defensive lines on the left bank of the Dnieper and is trying to hold the temporarily captured territories. At the same time, it conducts offensive operations in the Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and Novopavlivka directions. Over the past 24 hours, units of the defense forces repelled the attacks of the occupiers in the areas of Masyutivka and Orlyanka settlements of the Kharkiv Oblast, Novoselivsk, Myasozerivka, Makiivka, and Bilohorivka in the Luhansk Oblast and Soldar, Bakhmut, Krasnohorivka, Verkhnokamiansk, Pervomaisk, Nevolsk, Mariinka, and Pavlivka in the Donetsk Oblast. The enemy does not stop shelling units of the defense forces along the entire contact line, conducts aerial reconnaissance. It continues to strike critical infrastructure and civilian homes in violation of international humanitarian law, the laws and customs of war. Over the past day, the enemy launched 4 missile and 23 airstrikes, launched more than 70 MLRS attacks. More than 25 settlements in the Kharkiv, Luhansk, Donetsk, Vinnytsia, Zaporizhia, Kherson, and Mykolaiv oblasts were hit. The situation in the Volyn and Polisia directions has not changed significantly. The formation of the Russian-Belarusian grouping of troops on the territory of the Republic of Belarus continues. The threat of missile and airstrikes by the enemy remains. The enemy shelled in such other directions, in the Slobozansky directions from mortars and barrel artillery, in the areas of the settlements of Bolohivka, Vilkovaka, Krasna, Ohertseve, and Staritsa of the Kharkiv Oblast. On the Kupiansk and Lyman directions, from tanks and artillery of various calibers, in the areas of the settlements of Bilohorivka, Kislivka, Krogman, Makiivka, Nevsk, Novoselivsk, and Stelmakivka of the Luhansk Oblast, Berestov, Kupiansk, and Tabaivka in Kharkiv Oblast, and Serebryanka and Terny in Donetsk Oblast, and the Bakhmut direction from tanks and the entire range of artillery, in the areas of Andrivka, Bakhmut, Bakhmutsk, Verkhnokamiansk, Zalizn, Klishchivka, Maersk, Opidny, Soldar, and Yakovlivka settlements of the Donetsk Oblast, and the Avdiivka direction from tanks, mortars, barrel, and jet artillery, in the areas of Avdiivka, Vasil, Vodiane, Kamianka, Kostiantynivka, Krasnohorivka, Mariinka, Nevolsk, and Novomykhailivka settlements in Donetsk Oblast, and the Novopavlivsky direction from tanks and artillery of various types, in the areas of Bohoyavlenka, Velika Novosilka, Vermivka, Volodar, Neskiny, Pavlivka, and Prikostivka settlements of the Donetsk Oblast, in the Zaporizhia direction from tanks and the entire range of artillery, in the areas of the settlements of Dorozhnyanka, Huliapol, Zeleny Hay, Malinivka, Olivsk, Stepov, Cherivn, Chervon, and Sherbak of the Zaporizhia Oblast, in the South Bu direction from artillery of various types, in the areas of the settlements of Vishkatarasivka in the Dnipropetrovsk Oblast and Havrylivka, Dutchany, Zolota Baka, Mykolivka, and Novolexandrivka in the Kherson Oblast. In the temporarily occupied territories of Donetsk, Luhansk, and Zaporizhia Oblast, the enemy continues to use the buildings and territory of religious organizations, educational and healthcare institutions for the accommodation of military personnel, military equipment, and the equipment of firing positions of mortars and artillery. In the temporarily occupied territory of the Donetsk Oblast, relations between the mobilized servicemen and the occupiers from the territory of the Chechen Republic remain tense. Thus, another skirmish in the city of Makiivka, Donetsk Oblast, resulted in the injury of 3 people. It has been confirmed that the defense forces hit the concentration area of the occupiers in the Zaporizhia region on November 10th of this year. As a result, the enemy lost more than 100 people wounded. Information about the dead is being clarified. During the past 24 hours, the Ukrainian aviation made 16 strikes against the enemy. 13 areas of concentration of personnel, weapons, and military equipment, as well as 3 positions of the enemy's anti-aircraft missile systems, were affected. Over the past day, our soldiers shot down at least 1 enemy UAV Orlan. Units of missile forces and artillery of the defense forces hit 2 control points, 9 areas of concentration of manpower, weapons, and military equipment, and 2 other important military objects of the occupiers. I support the armed forces. Together we will win. Glory to Ukraine. Let's keep in touch.